Hey, yeah, what's up? This disciple Marshall Occurrence Rain back up in this anti-Illuminati all day, anti-America all day. So this video basically is going to be about the gang stalking causing a liability for the American community. The gang stalking causing a liability for the American community. Now, I don't, I can't tell you how long gang stalking has been going on in America. I can't tell you how many years and decades it's been going on. But in my personal life, I will date back to about 10 years ago, possibly, in my personal life. About 10 years. Um, you know, this has become a liability for the children and the teenagers and all the youth and all of you Americans. I know you want to say leave everybody out of it. How is that possible? When in actuality they're using teenagers and children. So like I explained to you guys, whatever weapon you use in war, we have the legal right to break and destroy. Boom. Ow, that's a 7. If you're using children, we have the right to crush your children. If you're using teenagers, we have the right to crush your teenagers. If you're using the black community, we have the right to crush the black community. If you're using Hispanics and Latinos, we have the right to crush Hispanics and Latinos. Whoever you use in war, we have the right to crush. Didn't expect that one, did you? Yeah, you expected me to be soft like you, and I'm not. Hey, listen, if you have somebody that's in war and doing tours in Iraq, and they see a kid with an AK-47, what you think they're going to do? They're going to neutralize the target. Ask any military. If they're stationed over in another country and people use children to carry out operations, what are they forced to do? They're forced to neutralize the target in the form of a child. It's no different. Yeah, it's no different for us either. That's a 7 hour. It's no different. If you're using children in wars out here, then ask the military what happens in that case. Okay, so a wise military person will see that same principle applies here. Boom. Ow. That's a 7. Ow. You can't be sitting up using children in war as weapons and expect them to still be standing. I know you think they're angels. Well, you'll be, listen, they'll be falling like Lucifer. They'll be falling from heaven like Lucifer. Ow. If they're angels, they'll be falling from heaven like Lucifer. Boom. Ow. And listen, we ain't playing no games. I seen everything you did on Valentine's Day. I seen all the gang stalking that you did using children in the CVS on Northern Boulevard. I seen the gang stalking that you used children in on my block on the store here between 94th and 95th. I seen everything that you did. Okay? And all I'm trying to show you is that when your children are broken down, don't get mad at me. Because after all, you use them in gang stalking and in real principles of war, even children can be neutralized as targets. And this war is no different. I know you want to think it's different because there ain't no guns being shot, but it's the same principle and we got to get it done. You're not going to be using anything against us. And I don't care who it is and why it is that way. They're going to get neutralized as a target. Yeah, that's how goofy you are. We see how goofy you are that you think you can do that and nothing happens to them. Why? Because they're children? That's your goofy perspective, not mine. My perspective is whatever you use in war can be broken. And that goes for the old people you're using too. Trying to see if we'll have sex with older women. Yeah, you don't think we know you're doing that? You don't think I know you're doing that? Every woman that you use and every man that you use in spiritual warfare, they gonna get broke off too. Boom, ow. Oh, just so you see, we ain't discriminating against the kids. No, it ain't nothing personal, but it is. And if you use and listen, if you use something, if you use old people and young people against us, they will be broken as weapons. Any weapon in war, we have legal right in the wars. We have legal right concerning the principles of real masters to break any weapon used in warfare. No strategist would disagree with me. If they're being used, they're going to be broken. I'm telling you right now. You better get ready for it. And when you try to come against us, because that's what we're waiting for. We're waiting for you to get mad enough to think you can challenge me physically. And as soon as that day come, all of y'all gonna die. Oh, you think I'm stupid? You waiting to see how bad it's gonna get. Oh, it's gonna get bad. And when you ready to go to war, I'll be waiting. I'll be waiting. Now, all these children they use in the gang and gang stalking, all these gang stalking operations, this has caused a liability. Hear this part. This has caused a liability to your entire community. I know you want to say everybody involved. How many people we supposed to wait to get involved? How many people do we wait before this becomes a nationwide liability? Do it take all the police to beat down black people for it to be a nationwide liability to the police of nationally speaking? Do we wait for the police to beat down every black person in America? So you wait for a certain number. So you will wait for a certain number before you shut down the whole national police institution, right? You gonna wait for them to destroy all black people? Or better to say, you gonna wait for all the police to get involved and do it? Does it take all the police? For you want it all shut down? So it takes literally every police to be involved before you say, well, shut it down now. Every police been involved. That's how you sound when you say, well, it ain't everybody. Do black people wait for all the police to beat down everybody? Or shoot somebody? You're not going to wait for all the police, are you? Okay, then. So you wait for a certain number, not everybody. Boom. Are you going to wait for all the police to get involved? So in the case where, let's just say it get completely out of control, you still are not going to wait for the police, all the police, right? You're going to wait for a certain number of police. Right. Not all of them. That's the same thing with us. You think we're going to wait till all of y'all gang stalk us? You think it takes all of the Americans to gang stalk us? Do you think it takes all of them, all of y'all? It don't. It take a certain number. So stop crying to me and stop insinuating that it ain't all of y'all, because it don't matter. It just took a certain number, and that number has already been fulfilled. That's a 7 ow, boom, ow, boom. Boom, boom. That number already been fulfilled, big baby. That's why you got COVID-19 everywhere. That's why you got all this stuff going on, because your gang stalking has caused plagues from God to come on America. And you sat back and thought you was being entertained like it's some innovative real-time video game. And now look at your situation. Now they're trying to save face, calling me a king. Boom, ow, boom, boom, boom. Look at you now. After about 10 years of gang stalking, look at you now. Look like a fool, don't you? Look stupid, don't you? All of them trying to save face. You ain't gonna save no face, because I'm gonna tell you just like the teenagers tell you. Keep the same energy. Boom, boom, boom. Keep the same energy. Keep that same energy. We ain't trying to hear none of that king stuff. We ain't trying to hear none of that. We don't care what come with it. We want you to keep the same energy. We don't care what comes with it. Because after all, we got this far without all of these people and all of that stuff that's going on. I didn't have none of them, did I? Did I have any of them? Okay, then. So then I don't need them now. Why do I need them now? Nah, they trying to come up off me. They trying to come up off my name. I didn't need you then, and I don't need you now. Won't you get it through your greasy head? I didn't need you then, and I don't need you now. They were doing the same thing then, and they're doing the same thing now. I don't need you now. I've been through the worst of this situation. I have been through the worst of this situation. I don't need you. I don't need your cosigns. I don't need your love. I don't need nothing from you. Just as if you do not exist. I don't need you. We've got this far on our own, and then all of a sudden now they want to be fans. All of a sudden they want to join the bandwagon. Yeah, you weren't joining the bandwagon when I was homeless on the streets in Tampa, was you? Yeah, you thought they had me, didn't you? You thought they had me when I was in Florida, all homeless on the streets. You thought I couldn't make it, could you? Look at me now. That's what the kingdom of God do. And we don't want nobody trying to act like they are our allies. We don't want nobody trying to act like they on my side. We ain't trying to hear none of that. We want all y'all to keep the same energy. If you was a spectator, we want you to keep that same energy. If you just sitting there, like you know how people do in America, and you just sitting there thinking we're going to die, just keep that same energy. That's all I want you to do. I don't want your love. I don't want your praise. I want nothing. I want you to sit back and watch the champion rule and reign by himself with his family and his woman. I don't need none of y'all trying to rule and reign with me when you was a spectator just between 5 and 10 years ago. You was a spectator. We don't need you. Yeah, it's part of your karma too. You're going to sit there and watch me reign and rule, and you ain't going to be part of it. Yeah, acting like you're going to be part of it. You ain't going to be part of nothing. Your scavenger birds, your pigeons. You was pigeons for these secret societies in the government, taking these peanuts to gang stalk people. Yeah, we found out about it. You taking gift cards to gang stalk people. Wow. Taking money to gang stalk people. Yeah, we found out, bruh. And we want you to keep the same energy because you know what? With all the people in your community that was doing all that gang stalking, that's all you need to know and realize for why all of y'all have the liability. That's why you got the liability, big baby. You was doing too much gang stalking. And God wasn't having that. How long you think God was going to let you do that? Huh? And now you're getting the liabilities, bro. You think I'm playing? Look at your country. I know you want to save face. You want to ignore it. That's what you want to do. You want to ignore it. It's too much to ignore, buddy. And all you're trying to do is save face in the middle of it. And ain't nobody paying attention to that. You know what they're paying attention to? The news. Seeing all this destruction going on. Seeing all this COVID flying up in 5 different strains and all of that. People pushing people on trains, all this madness. You think they paying attention to that refried beans of you riding around? It's done play this course, man. Ain't nobody paying attention to that. That ain't getting no play no more. Nobody cares about that anymore, man. Nobody cares about that. All right? You riding around trying to save face. Everybody get it, man. What you thought I wasn't a street dude? You trying to ride around saving face. That's all it is, man. That's all it is, bro. And ain't nobody fooled by that. We are not fooled, bro. You trying to save face and it didn't work. It got worse. I got more powerful, and your situation got worse. So how you save face? Huh? How you save face, bro? Money can't make you win this war, man. Death can't make you win this war. How you gonna get God off your head? How you gonna get God off your head, man? That's what I'm telling you. You ain't got no choice but to submit to me and give me what I need. Because if you don't do it, you still gonna suffer more. The bottom line is you're going to suffer more and the same, and you ain't going to like it. God has a way of taking your smile away. You know that? My God, who I serve, he has a way of taking your smile off your face. All that little funny, goofy stuff that you're doing. He got a way of taking that smile, that goofy smirk off your face. That's for all of y'all. He got a way of taking that goofy smirk off your face and showing you what time it is. Ain't nobody listen. I ain't trying to be popular. I don't need to be known. I don't need to be acknowledged. I don't need to be seen. I don't need to be realized. All you need to do is give my money. That's all you need to do. And if you can't do that, I don't want to hear nothing you got to say. Because at the end of the day, what money have they given me? What money have they given me? They ain't giving me no money. Ain't nothing to talk about, man. And that's how you know I'm a grown man, because I ain't trying to hear none of that superhero foolishness. I'm talking about my money based on my money, my bag. Call it a bunny mixed with money in a bag. B. The B for the bag, and money for the money. And the bunny, the other part, the honey for the bunny, for the money. Give me my bunny, man. Hey, give me my bunny. That's the bag and the money. That's money in the bag. Get my bunny. Boom, ow. Get my bunny. I just made up a new slang. Get my bunny. That's money in the bag. Put the two words together. That's a bunny. Get my bunny, man. Hey, yo, get my bunny. That's the money in the bag, bro. Get my bunny. Get my bunny. And if you think I'm playing with you as a community, man, you got all these little foolish games, the cartoon games, man. God has a way of taking your smile off your face. Don't you understand that? You think you serious? We way more serious than you. COVID-19, how you more serious than that, man? Because you riding around deep playing games in society? So what? So what? You networking? So what? It ain't more serious. It ain't more serious than COVID. COVID is affecting everybody. COVID is tearing up your country. You're underestimating COVID right now as we speak. How you gonna get rid of it? Have you got rid of it? Oh, I know, because you ain't got no more mask mandates. You think it's gone. You think it's gone. But they're getting new strains all the time. You think it's gone. How is it gone and you're still getting new strains, man? Make it make sense, bro. Make it make sense. How is it gone, man? Huh? How's it going when it's always fluctuating, back and forth, killing people all throughout your country? Let's put it like this. Every day, somebody dies of COVID. Every day, somebody dies of COVID. Okay? So I think you're underestimating it. As long as somebody's dying every day from it, I think you're underestimating it. And your little war of riding around with politics, trying to make a game out of nothing, but ain't nothing but nigger and cracker politics. I'm gonna say it just like it is. It ain't nothing but nigger and cracker politics that has nothing to do with the reality that you are dying. It cannot triumph. Listen, it cannot triumph over the fact that COVID-19 came as a result of all of that in the first place. All that yapping and all that stuff y'all doing. That's why you got COVID-19 right now. Explain any other way why that's here. Make sense. Make it make sense. Make sense of it. Why is it here right now? All that psychological stuff, it all got to come back to you, buddy. The bottom line is we pure up here, buddy. Yeah, ain't no pedophiles up here, big baby. But guess who are the pedophiles? 43 states of child marriage that you have in America. Yeah, we know that for facts. What you know for facts about me? Boom, ow. Nothing, right? You ain't got nothing. You got Mickey Mouse games. We'll cut Mickey Mouse ears off. I never liked Mickey Mouse anyway. You little Mickey Mouse looking bastards. I never liked Mickey Mouse anyway. Yeah. We got a whole liability on you, buddy. You got 44 states with child marriage, 43 states with child marriage, 20 states that allows adults to marry children at any age. 20 states, that's almost half. 25 is half. Almost half, 5 states from half of the country, 5 states from half of the country that can marry children at any age down to single digits. Boom. Half of the country doing that, big baby. And half of the country already they already had before that. That's the July 1st, 2019 law. The 20 states that allows adults to marry children at any age. That's the July 1st, 2019 law. The other foundational child marriage law is the 43 states that allows child marriage. They try to bring it down from 44 states, y'all. They think that means something. Let me explain something to you. You're assaulting my intelligence. If you do not have the whole child marriage laws gone, then all it means is that you're trying to make it look pretty. That's what you're trying to do. You're trying to make it look a certain way. And you're trying to make me probably trying to make me be inaccurate in the things that I'm talking about. He's saying 44 states is really 43. How much of a cornball can you be? Because listen, it's too late. It's too late to try to fix it. It's a liability now. Boom, out. Once you got a liability and legally speaking, you can't go back, can you? That's a 7 hour. Yeah, you got a liability, big baby. And that means you have to make right that liability. It ain't gonna just wash away. Do debt just wash away? Do liability debt just wash away? Then I'm sorry to tell you, man, this is to the death of you. I'm not playing. I'm talking about real life, real death, COVID-19. And I told you that this would happen to you. See, what people don't know, won't you tell the truth? Won't that little secret society tell the truth? Won't you tell them the truth? That I already told you that a plague was going to come to your country if you followed me to California. And you did follow me to California. I was in Tampa, Florida in 2019. I told you if you follow me to California, you're going to get a plague specifically that came to America, and it happened. Boom, ow. It happened the next year. I told you this, and that's why you have what you have. You thought you could play with me, and I've been talking the same language. I've been talking the same way, and ain't nobody king over me in this country. It's all cartoon foolishness. You got child marriage. Ain't no kings here. Ain't no kings. Not among men like me of my caliber. Among you scrubs is kings. Yo, those are kings of the scrubs. I'm talking about, listen, man, you got 43 states of child marriage. All you acknowledge the king of the scrubs. I'm talking about, I'm a revolutionary, man. That's real. I'm a revolutionary. I have the information to prove what I revolutionized. What I revolutionized? Your image of America, which is the child marriage image. Before that, you didn't think no such thing exists in America. Not on the scale that it does. Not on the scale that it does exist. So I revolutionized the real image. I revolutionized the image of America, pulling away the false fake America and showing you the real America. Just in case you didn't think I was a real revolutionary and I'm a self-proclaimed revolutionary. How? That's a revolutionary progression. It's a revolutionary progression. I progress this country revolutionary in a revolutionary way. Right? And that's why I get these scrubs off of me. I don't care how much money you got. You ain't no revolutionary. You've been sitting up here, a part of the system, a house Negro, but think you a field Negro. If you've been submitted to the American government, you are a house Negro. If you out there gang stalking, you are a house Negro. Working for the house Negroes. That's what you're doing. I'm a field Negro forever. You understand me? Even as a Christian, I am a field Negro. And you listen, the beautiful part is I ain't got to get along with none of y'all. You know why? Because all of y'all house Negroes anyway. Well, you in the house. You part of the white American culture. You're part of the American culture. The black culture is detrimental to the African. How does the African American culture benefit the African children? Explain it. Make it make sense. Okay, so guess what that means then? It's a liability too. It's detrimental. It's detrimental to the African Americans. Let's put it like this. It do more damage than good, don't it? All this gangbanging, all this rap stuff, all this culture, that's all they see. They ain't seeing none of that other little stuff you do until it's too late. Until they 20-some years old, then they can understand it. It's too late for many people. They pick the dark side part of the African American culture. They pick the evil part. You shouldn't have it to offer, now should you? That's a 7 ow, boom, boom. You shouldn't have it to offer, should you? But you do got it to offer. And that's all the kids is looking at. Okay? So it does more damage than good. So that makes you, so if you're submitted to something that does more damage than good to African Americans, you are considered, to me, house Negroes. Yeah, the field Negroes is me. I'm unsubmitted. You got these Hispanics and Latinos think they on my lane and level. You never could be, because you don't go through the same things. You don't live the same lifestyle I live. You can't be serious. And then on top of that, listen, man, I'm over all of this, man. You got 43 states of child marriage. I don't care what culture you got. I don't care how many times you listen to Mexican trumpets and Puerto Rican trumpets. You ain't on my level. Can't see me. You can go penetrate yourself with your own trumpet, suckers. You can't see me. You've been sitting here halfway part of the community. You ain't even halfway involved. How you think you can see me? I don't care nothing about gangsters. Gangsters ain't nothing but inmate prison numbers waiting to happen. That's all they are. You can't be serious talking about gangsters. They ain't rose up against the government the whole time they've been here. What gangsters in any state has risen up and rebelled against the American government? January 6th, when they rioted, them white boys did better than the gangsters did. Boom. Man, January 6th riot is better than any gangsters ever did in America concerning rising up against the government in modern day times. Since the 80s and up, how have y'all rose up against the government? So, man, don't talk that stuff to me, man. Y'all, real rebels would have rose up against the government by now. You ain't see no need to, did you? Yeah, because they kept throwing you that money. They kept throwing you that cocaine in your community. You know why? So you wouldn't rise up against the real government. Ow, that's a 7 ow, boom, ow. Now you don't even see no need to rise up against it because they throw you them peanuts, that cocaine and that crack cocaine, and you just stay in your community. You don't feel no need to rise up against anybody else, do you? That's psychological. Now you see. Because if you didn't have cocaine in your community, you would have came outside of it looking for money. You would have came outside of it looking for money. You would have came outside of your community looking for money if there was no cocaine to sell. If there was no weed and cocaine to sell, that's why they threw enough in your community so you stay in here. That's for all minorities. They threw enough in your community so you would stay in there and not rise up against the government. And you think you can see me? Not on your best day, buddy. Not when you got all your vitamins and you got all your breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You can eat your breakfast and finish your breakfast and you still can't see me, bro. You can finish supper and you still can't see me. You can finish breakfast, lunch, and dinner and you still can't see me. Listen, man, I don't gotta fit the cool image of you. I don't have to fit no cool image. That's the beautiful thing about it. I am the part. I don't have to look the part. I don't have to look the part, do I? I got these numbers, bruh. I don't need to look no part. I got these numbers and you suckers. These people are so stupid these days, you think you could rise up against a revolutionary and you got smashed on. Now you look how you looking. Now look how you looking. Looking like suckers and busters. Sicking up, thinking that gangster stuff can see me. Man, I'm a revolutionary, man. Stay in your lane. Because revolutionaries will shoot you. But you can't be no revolutionary. See what I'm saying? I can get in your lane, but you can't get in mine. Oh yeah, I'll shoot me somebody. Just like Malcolm X would shoot him somebody. I'll shoot me somebody. But what you doing with it? You ain't doing nothing with it, is you? You ain't doing nothing besides shooting people, ain't you? You can't see me, bro. I'll shoot me somebody and finish my message. I'll shoot me somebody and finish my YouTube message. That's all you gonna do and then go to jail. It's an empty book, bro. It's an empty book to me. Shoot somebody and go to jail, okay. When you got all these politics and you got all this stuff going on, 43 states with child marriage, and I'm addressing all this stuff, how the American government settled out of court with Martin Luther King Jr. family for conspiring against him. The American government settled out of court with Martin Luther King Jr.'s family in December 1999. They gave his family only $100, which is racist. I'm talking about real details. There's real details in my book. You are an empty book of a shooter. Oh, I shot somebody, going to jail. That's it. Boom, out. That's what I'm saying. And in your community, when people think like they're still in middle school, that matters. It don't matter to me. None of the stuff you're doing matters, bro. That's for children. I was like that when I was 16. I don't speak the same language that I did when I was 16, man. I'm speaking a whole different language. You need to grow up. Y'all need to grow up. I've already grown up. I'm talking about stuff that you possibly couldn't even imagine, that you ain't even know about. Can't be serious, man. Talking about middle school street punks. Talking about middle school street punk mentality. Man, you can't be serious, bro. Going down the hill fighting and shooting people. Man, where I'm from, we was thinking like that at 16 years old. We were like that at 16. Yeah, I know you thought it was me that's going to die. You know why? Because everybody's so focused on death. I'm focused on life. I know you don't think so, but I am. I'm focused on life, man. I'm going to live and y'all going to die. Oh, you don't think it's biblical? Look at Noah. Noah was the only man saved in the Bible. Everybody else died. Oh, it happened before. God's had this mentality before. Just in case you think, oh, well, God will let him die and let us live. That didn't happen in Noah's time. In Noah's time, everybody died and only Noah lived. It can happen again. God don't got to explain to you if it mixed with prophecy. See, that's for all the theologians. Let me tell you something. God don't got to explain nothing to you. Boom. Yeah, we live in the real world, buddy. Huh. Oh, you thought God had to explain why this is happening to you. He don't got to explain nothing. God is God. God can do whatever he want to do. He can change his mind. And none of that comes true. So you're telling me God has to make it come true? The prophecy that you believe in? God Almighty has to do it. Who he's obligated to do it to? Who's making him obligated? That's the real God, buddy. He don't have to do none of that. That you up there talking about, well, this has to happen, so this person has to die because the mark of the beast has to come. How is he going to outlive all of that? Well, God doesn't have to do it, do he? My faith is bold enough to say God don't have to do that. Boom. God doesn't have to do none of that. Just to show you who's boss. God doesn't have to do none of that. So you're telling me God definitely, eternally, definitely have to do it. And you know what scripture you're going to use? Well, every word that proceeds out the mouth has to be fulfilled and all of this. But God still can change his mind. That's the 7th owl. That's for the American body of Christ. He still can change his mind, though. Boom. Oh, he can't change his mind. God still can change his mind. That's the 7th owl. God can still change his mind, big baby. While you waiting for the mark of the beast, like I know you think you think that's going to wipe me out, don't you? You think the mark of the beast gonna wipe me out, don't you? While you waiting for the mark of the beast, guess what? None of that don't got to happen. None of that don't got to happen. None of the mark of the beast got to happen. Gotcha, didn't I? Ow. Yeah, that's what you're waiting on. How about it don't happen and you just die? And we just see what it feels like if Africa rules over the world instead of these white colonist people that's running this country like a colony. Let's see how Africa looks running the world. Hey, Europeans ran the world. Let's try it. I don't care where they come from. They're Europeans, right? Let's try to see if Africans run the world. See how that goes. Hey, it's time to give everybody a try. I think we second in line, not Hispanics and Latinos. Africans are second in line. I'm sorry, that's a 7th owl, boom, owl. I know you thought you was nearest, but you ain't. That's no disrespect, but you ain't nowhere near this lane, buddy. I'm sorry, you ain't nowhere near this lane. Okay, I don't care how much hip hop you listen to. I don't care what you do. Even far as numbers and results, you're nowhere near this lane, and it's coming back to tribes because the war is getting real. Yeah, we're coming back to tribes. It's all about what you've done and what numbers you put up, especially when you violate other tribes, as your Hispanic and Latino community has been doing. Of course, it's coming back to tribes. What you thought it was? Oh, you gonna still rock over here? Nah. It's coming back to tribes. And if your tribes haven't been putting up numbers, I'm sorry to tell you, you've been walking around here goofy, playing goofy games, then you got liabilities, right along with the gang stalkers. Should have known better than to play with a black man. Why? Because I ain't fit in with the rest? Because I ain't fit in with them. They don't fit in with themselves. Last time I checked, they killing each other. Oh! Last time I checked, they don't even get along with themselves. How am I supposed to get along with them? Oh! You explain to me how I'm supposed to get along with them. And they killing each other. So we're not going by that. A wise man is not going to go by that. If they already killing each other and they not together in unity, a wise man is going to take heed to that and say, well, dang, they ain't even get along with themselves. How would anybody else supposed to get along with them? Especially a righteous man that's telling the truth for what it is. How he supposed to get along with him? Yeah. You can't Jedi mind trick me, suckers. You don't even get along with yourself. How you worried about what I'm doing? That part. That's the 7th owl. How you worried about what I'm doing, buddy? You need to be worried about what your community doing and how they making other people look. How they making you look as a community. You need to worry about how your community is making you look as a community. Don't worry about what I'm doing. I'm speaking nothing but the truth, more than the truth. I'm speaking nothing but the truth, all the truth. You don't need to worry about what I'm doing. Are you harmed? Then you need to draw tough skin to the truth. Bottom line. Did I leave your family stinking? Then you need to, listen, you need to grow tough skin and take the truth for what it is. And stop being a big baby. Worried about what somebody's saying, but not worried about what you're doing in your own community. Man, come on, that's clown. That's foolishness, man. That's foolishness to a man like me. That's foolishness. See, what you don't want to recognize and acknowledge is that a real revolutionary will be done with you as a community. You don't want to, that's a possibility, bro. Okay, so all this killing and the revolutionary just gonna rock with y'all. That's what you feel. You really feel this way. I mean, you really, really, really feel this way. But when you consider that the revolutionary would look at the fact that you killing each other, like a plan for his people is to preserve their lives. First of all, he or she is trying to preserve their lives, and you contradicting that. You don't think that's going to be a collision with a real revolutionary that's trying to preserve lives? You don't think that's going to be a collision? See, that's what I'm saying, and that's what makes you biased. Because when you're faced with a real revolutionary, you think what he's supposed to do? Oh, be cool and chill. That's what he's supposed to be, huh? And he trying to preserve lives, and you killing each other at the speed of light. And he don't supposed to say nothing. You the biggest liability in the country with all this killing. Hey, well, ain't nobody else killing like you killing. And you don't think a revolutionary gonna come on the scene and address that? Not in the way like that you used to, kissing you, giving you a little slap on the wrist. That ain't work, has it? So that would be insanity for me to do the same thing that these other leaders been doing, and it didn't work. And that's what you don't want to acknowledge. You think I'm bitter, and it's really you. You bitter. Why are you killing each other then? I don't know sweet people who kill each other. So I can say you foundationally bitter. That's a 7 owl, boom, owl. I can say you bitter foundationally. How you think I'm bitter? Huh? Listen. God was going to bring that liability to you when you started playing with me anyway. Hey, listen, if I wouldn't have said nothing, you still would have got the liability the same old way, buddy. That's facts. That's what you really don't realize. Now you know God is real. Now you recognize God is real. So you would have got the liability for playing with me regardless. Based on God's existence and me being one of his servants. You would have got the liability regardless. Now you seeing me articulate the liability. I'm articulating the liability. That's all it is. You're still going to get it. That's a 7 owl, boom, owl. I'm just articulating it. I'm just letting you know. I'm just not giving you the pleasure of thinking I'm some racist or some pedophile. I don't have to do this. I don't have to do this. But in my personality, I refuse to let someone get the luxury of thinking they right. I refuse to let someone get to have the pleasure of thinking you right. And you not. You out here killing each other more than anybody else, talking about racism. I'm tired of that, man. I'm tired of that, bro. And everybody's been lying, and everybody's liable. The whole culture is liable. And you sitting up here worried about a racist. You know what's worse than a racist these days? Your own people killing each other. That's what's worse. You need to update your computer. What's worse than a racist? Person saying racist slurs and having a racist perspective? You know what's worse than that? These days, in 2023, February 15th, you know what's worse than that? Than verbal racism? You know what's worse than verbal racism? Black on black murders. African murders. Okay? And you desensitized to it. You done heard it so much, you're callous. That ain't my fault. I'm sensitive to it. Okay? You're callous, I'm sensitive. You are calloused, and I'm sensitive to it. And that's why it's nothing been done anyway. You have the ability to be sensitive. We know that. You know how we know that? You know how we know you're sensitive? You have the ability to be sensitive? Every time the police kill somebody, you out hooping and hollering like hoes at a pimp funeral. You hooping and hollering like hoes at a pimp funeral. You all over the casket. Just like hoes at a pimp funeral. You just like hoes at a pimp funeral. One person died. Now all of a sudden you all out there. Now let it be people in the hood that die. We don't hear nothing but crickets, do we? You don't think people see that? You don't think people see that contradiction? The bottom line is somebody black died. So it doesn't matter that they died. It matters who they died by, right? That's what you're telling me. It doesn't matter who they die. It doesn't matter that they die. It matters who they die by. That's what you're telling me. Because see, when the police do one killing, whether it's a murder or not, however it is, y'all doing a protest nationwide. You don't think nobody see that, man? You think you like a little kid under a blanket saying, I'm not here, I'm invisible. We see the fact that you're killing each other in the hood, bro. It's the same thing. You got Black Lives Matter that show up like an ambulance. That's the black people ambulance. Black Lives Matter. They show up every time something happens, right, with the police. But we don't see them in Compton, do we? Do we see them in Brooklyn, East New York? Do we see them in Harlem? Not substantially, right? We don't see them anywhere in Cleveland, Midwest. We don't see them nowhere, do we? Not in Detroit. That's what everybody's complaining about. Black Lives Matters is not in the hood. Black Lives Matter is not in the hood, in the ghetto. See, that's a word that you don't hear white people use. That black people, you got to use that word. Ghetto. Listen, Black Lives Matter is not in the ghetto. That's what we talk about. So that's a joke. And so I'm going to keep doing videos to show you, man. You know, all these movements and everything y'all talking about, what they doing. All these little underground movements, you know how they are. They got these movements, yeah, we got it going on. They got a little jazz playing like they got some little movement going on. Like they in the back with the guns and they got some big movement playing going on. With the jazz playing and the R&B playing. Like they about to set it off. How long you been like that? Well, you about to set it off. Like you got some secret little thing going on. You know who the secret little thing is? For rich people. It ain't doing nothing out here. People talking about they got movements. All these people that got money talking about they got movements. Okay, but what is it doing out here when kids are being killed still in the hood? You need to hurry up. Hey, you need to hurry up then. If you got something going on, and see what you think my method is crazy. You think my method is suicide. How about now? Al does a 7 album, Al. You thought, I know how you think. You thought my method was stupid, didn't you? That I come out in the open and say it how it is. It had to happen like that. And you don't think I know that? So that's how you know I ain't stupid. But listen, it was not going to get done sitting there being quiet. It was not going to get done sitting here not talking. Nothing was going to get done. Somebody had to say something. And you think that being quiet stuff working. How's it working? How's that working for you? Okay, being quiet is working. How's it working? When you got people being killed all the time in the hood, how's that working, bro? That's all I'm asking. How is it working? Okay, so I know your methods. I just wanted you to know I know what you're trying. I know your methods and how you feel about what I'm doing. You think I'm being crazy and stupid. But why is it getting done then? Why is it getting done? Because, see, God empowers the man that speaks. That's why you ain't got the power. Because you didn't begin to speak. Boom. Go check my videos. I've already did a video on this. I can't go into it too deep. I'm going to just touch on it just for a minute. God empowers the man that speaks. If you begin to speak, you begin to speak the revolution, you begin to speak the truth, God will send his angels to protect you, to empower you, and to defeat the enemy. Why would God send angels and everything and you ain't saying nothing? So you one of his children that ain't saying nothing. So why he need to send all that power then? Why do he need to send all that protection? And see, that's what you did not realize, is that God has the ability to send the protection, but you first have to speak. You first got to stand up and stand against the government. You first have to stand up and stand against the people that you thought was on your side. You got to first do that first. And then God sends the protection. Then God sends the anointing. Then God sends the angels. Then God sends the archangels. Why he gonna send all of that? Anointing, archangels, and protection, and all of that power and everything, and you ain't saying nothing. So see, the deception comes in right there. You think, oh, because I don't see no protection, and look at all this stuff happening to these people. If I say something, that's gonna happen to me. No, see, you missed it. You missed it right there. Why they're subject to everything that's happening to them is because they ain't in God's will, they're in sin, and they are not speaking enough for God to send the protection. So they don't perceive protection because they never spoke. They haven't perceived that there will be a power to overcome the American government because they haven't begun to speak. If you don't speak, you don't have faith. The Bible says without faith, works is dead. Without works, faith is dead. So if you don't speak, you have no works with your faith. All you have is the faith. Oh, God's going to set us free one day. Not until you start talking. Not until you draw a sand in the line with all your influence. And then you say, this is what's happening. That's what's happening. This is what's happening. God ain't going to change. How can he? The Bible says without faith, it is impossible to please God. Where is your faith that you can overcome the police, the American government, and even the wicked African empire that's controlling the African American culture? Where's your faith to defeat it? Where's your faith? Where's your faith? Your faith is in your actions and words. You have no faith. And without faith, it's impossible to please God. That's what the Bible says. Without faith, it is impossible. It's impossible. That's the only place where it's an impossibility in the Bible. Did you realize that? That's the only place where it is an impossibility in the Bible, where you don't have faith. Without faith, it is impossible, the Bible says. It is impossible. The only place where it says it's an impossibility is when you don't have faith. And the Bible says faith without works is dead. So if you put it all together, if you do not have no works of faith, it is impossible to please God. And where's your works of faith that you can defeat the American government? Oh, you don't see it need to be defeated. It's still racism right now, right? It's still racism. They pimping you. That's pimping game, man. They still got racism. Every time somebody get in office, they don't radically change your community. The government should have been gone, in my opinion, since the 80s and the 90s. But at least, definitely after the millennium, after they seen all the gang banging and crack cocaine, they should have got rid of it. It's 23 years into the millennium. They should have been working on that for the past 23 years. After all that killing, Crips and Bloods alone, crack cocaine, and they still ain't got you out the hood? Oh, you know what they doing? They tearing down the hood and giving the land to college kids and people with more money. They're tearing down ghettos in the South and then building them up, putting townhouses where the ghetto used to be. And you don't know where those black people went, do you? Mm-hmm. That's the truth. And they still got you in the ghetto. So y'all need, you talking about being awake. You know who's more awake than everybody? Christians. We've been awake. I don't want to hear none of that woke, or all that foolishness. The best thing I heard from somebody being woke is what's that dude? Donna Glover song. Childish Gambino, Redbone. Stay woke, cause niggas creeping. Yeah. Ooh, stay woke. Don't you close your eyes. That's the best woke words I've heard. Because it's too late. You want to make it right, but it's just too late. It's too late. You want to make it right, though, don't you? I'm trying not to waste my time. Oh. But it's too late. You want to make it right, but it's just too late. Okay? That's the situation. Sometimes it is too late. But I just wanted to show you. I couldn't let you die thinking you was right. I couldn't let you die thinking I did you wrong. I couldn't let you die thinking you got the answers and you don't. That's what kind of personality I am. I ain't gonna let you die like that. Before you die, you gonna know you was wrong and you gonna know that you had the liabilities. You gonna know why. I'm gonna tell you everything you need to know. Because I'm not gonna let you go into the afterlife thinking you was wronged by somebody that never did nothing to you though. You was wrong. Why you got these police out here killing you indeed? You was wronged. Why your own people killing you? I couldn't let you die thinking that I wronged you. When your own community killing you and the police killing you too. And the government keep pimping you, telling you they're going to do this, that, and the third, and they ain't done it yet. They still ain't done nothing, have they? When they can radically change your community, it's pimping. That's what it is. How come they ain't change your community? Because that takes out the pimping. That's a 7 album, ow. If they change everything and there ain't nothing else to do, the pimping stops. And you're free, right? So if they take away all the problems, ain't no pimping. If they take away all the problems, ain't no pimping, man. And everybody claim to know all what's going on, and you claim to have the greatest street wisdom and intuition in the world, but you couldn't see that though. You couldn't see if all the problems were solved, there is no pimping. You ain't never heard it quite like that, have you? Won't you give me my credit, man? Won't you stop playing and being entertained, sitting up being entertained, and respect me for who I am? If they solve all your problems, bruh, it ain't no pimping. Ain't nothing to pimp out. Ain't no manipulation. It's got to be something to manipulate. That's part of the game. So what you do in that case? You stop submitting like a house nigga to something that's pimping you. They got the same pimp game they been had. And they have no intentions of solving all your problems, because then the pimping stops. So guess what you got to do? You got to stop the pimping altogether, bro. I'm pretty sure you seen that coming. Oh, so you think God want to keep this going? You think God want to keep this pimp game going? Well, they come out every 4 years talking about what they're going to do when they don't do nothing. All they do is make themselves greater. Do you realize that? They make themselves greater. They put money in their pocket. Oh, you don't think they put money in their pocket when they get in the White House? So they be broke. They come there and get broke and be broke when they left. Man, use your mind, man. They networking and everything. They got situations, streams of income. Wouldn't you be doing that? If you was the greatest leader in America, you wouldn't be networking? That's all Donald Trump was doing. That's why he got a movement even though he ain't the president. Boom, ow, that's a 7, ow, boom, ow. That's why he got a whole movement like Adolf Hitler. That's how Adolf Hitler was. He had a movement outside of a system, right? Basically. He had his own movement, basically. Donald Trump ain't no different. He got his own movement. He networked properly and successful, and if he don't ever get back in the White House, he has a movement. Yeah, you didn't get that part, did you? Yeah, you doubt his business savviness, but he still got a movement, don't he? Boom. Still got a movement, don't he? Hey, that's money. That's people you can utilize. If you don't have nothing, have a movement. If you don't have nothing, have a movement. You can get people to get money. That's nothing. That's nothing. And that's what you all Americans will soon find out, that money is nothing. Power and influence and authority in war is everything. Money ain't nothing. Look how many billionaires there are and they ain't doing nothing. They just starting to huddle up like pound puppies. It's a whole bunch of billionaires, and what they doing? They ain't doing nothing powerful, are they? Not really. Not really. Because their networking game ain't in the right direction. Their networking ain't what it should be. It ain't going in the right direction. And at the end of the day, look at it for what it is. Black people still in the ghetto with all this money. Think about it. Think about it. All these actors that seem like they mean well, meanwhile, you still in the ghetto. You don't think they can start their own thing? Who's stopping them? You don't think black people can come together with all these millions of dollars and say, hey, we want to start our own organization? Who's going to stop them from doing that? Who's going to stop them from coming and meeting each other at a brunch and put their money together to start to destroy the ghetto? and bring black people out the ghetto and into a new experience of living. Nobody's stopping them, is it? Nobody's stopping them, are they? That's what I'm trying to show you. That's what I'm trying to show you. And they got millions and millions of dollars between all of them. Between all of them, they got enough money to get you out the ghetto. Well, hey, I think that should be the. If I didn't know any better, wouldn't that be the first goal? The people that I made money off of, and I want to keep alive to probably make more money off of, they're an investment, right? Well, no. It would be an investment to invest in them, right? So if, as a businessman, wouldn't it make sense to take them out of that situation and so they can continue to support you? I'm just saying. It seemed like it would be better for the overall empire of African American culture and community. Boom, ow, that's a 7, ow, boom, ow. It seemed like it would be the best investment that you could make to preserve African lives and those who support you. Ain't no pimping in that. Take care of the people that's supporting you. Makes sense. How you gonna take care of them when they dying? Oh, I want to support you, but I just got shot. I wanted to go to your concert, but I got shot and I'm in the hospital. I got shot in my inner thigh. I ain't gonna be able to do no two-step. I mean, let's be 100. They have not been investing in those who invested in them. They have not been investing in those who support them to preserve them. But yet you call them your leaders and kings and queens. Look like you've been getting a little pimping too. Look like you've been getting pimped out too. But who's doing the most pimping is people that go in the White House and talk about they gonna help you, and then they get in the White House for 4 years and do nothing. They do nothing for 4 years, right? They do nothing for 4 years, and they could radically change your community. But they're not doing it, are they? They're not doing it. Okay? So how long you gonna let people come in the White House, come and go in the White House, do nothing, got child marriage. Now you know they have child marriage in your community. They're doing nothing about this child marriage. They're doing nothing about it. They're the ones penetrating your children. They're the ones having sex with your children systematically, by system. That's disgusting. By system, not some wayward men in your country. Not some wayward people in your country. Not some rogue bunch of perverts. Not some rogue bunch of perverts. They got 43 states with child marriage. They passed your last child marriage law 3 years ago. And you think I'm playing? You think I can't see eye to eye with the police? The police is nothing to me anymore. I'm free from them. What they gonna do? What they gonna say? They killing each other. They out of control too. Right here in New York, the police had sex with a 15-year-old girl. Did you know that? NYPD had sex with a 15-year-old girl. 2 cops on 1 girl. Passing her back and forth. One of the cops got jacked off got a hand job in the cop car. I can't make this up. And here's the punchline. She was in a program in the police precinct called Explorers. Yeah, they explored her, didn't they? Go look it up. The information came out last year, if I'm not mistaken. Or 2021, what the end of the situation was. But the 2 cops was having sex acts here in New York City with a 15-year-old girl, which is illegal. One of the cops was getting jacked off in the cop car where he's supposed to be serving you at. The other cop was summoning her to his house back and forth in the middle of the night. This is what cops have done in your New York community. Why you got New York Community Watch? Why you got the New York Community Watch? Won't you tell them bozos that to protest about these NYPD cops? Hey, they talking about stuff you did a million years ago. Why they can't talk about this? It's been less than 10 years ago. 2 NYPD cops having sex with a 15-year-old girl. Boom. And guess what? Your whole community and all 5 boroughs ain't said nothing about it. Man, you can't see me, man. You better not ever see, man. I promise you, y'all better not ever say nothing to me. Your whole community ain't even saying nothing about it. Your whole community ain't even saying nothing about it. Have we seen anybody protest about this? That's for all you people who think you stand up. Yeah, that's for you. That's also for the New York community. Yeah, that's also for you. That's also for you. Yeah, you sitting up around here think you protecting kids. How come you ain't saying nothing about these cops that's having sex, that had sex with a 15-year-old girl, man? They was up in her, bro. One of them definitely was up in the girl, bro. Man, I don't see how y'all can live with y'all self. That's all I'm saying. You got all this gang stalking going on, and meanwhile, guess what? NYPD was out here having sex with a 15-year-old girl. They got passion, didn't they? That's the 7th album out. Yeah, that's for all the little kids that think you're doing some charity work. Don't you need to know, you need to know. NYPD having sex with a 15-year-old girl. How you feel about that? That's the 7th album out. I ain't playing no games. I went through information. Look how scared they are of me. Look how scared they are. Look how much of a threat I am with just information. Just imagine if it was all of you. Yeah. Look at that. You need to look at that. Look how much of a threat I am with just information. That's how powerful information is, man. The right information, that foolishness that they told you. I mean, do you see any signs of that? I'm with a fully grown woman. Do you see any signs of me? Yeah, and I handle her well. And it's like it's a real grown situation. It's a grown situation, ain't it? With conflicts and everything involved, it's a grown situation. Okay, so how they playing with me like I'm Pee Wee Herman? When you can clearly see, you might not like me, but you can see I'm a grown man. I'm a grown man up in here. Contrary to what they've been talking about, I think that's a death sentence. Don't you think so? I think the fact that I'm with a fully grown woman is their death sentence. I know you want to act like, it's all good now. No, it ain't all good now. They die now. You remember what they was talking about? You remember what they were saying? We ain't letting them listen. Come on, man. Listen. You think I'm gonna let them assault my intelligence like that? I'm with a fully grown woman. That's their death sentence for all the stuff that they've been saying, and they can sit here and split hairs. But at the end of the day, I am having sex with a grown woman. Boom. Ow. That's the 7th. Ow. Yeah, not some 16-year-old. I'm having sex with a fully grown woman. In fact, she's older than me. Boom. Ow. Oh, whoa. Oh, whoa. She growner than me. So what you got to say now? I think it's time to die, don't you? Yeah, this is the real world, buddy. I think it's time for them to die. Well, they're wrong. Dead wrong. And that's the end of it. And you see the circus still out there? Because they was clowns all the time. That's what I'm trying to show you. Because real niggas is going to say, nah, that dude with a grown woman, man, listen, I'm done with it. That's why ain't no real niggas with it. You know who with it? Clowns. Clowns that I will break their neck. I'll break your clown neck. It probably sound like a horn. Break your neck. Won't hear no crack. We'll hear. Clowns. Yeah. Now what you got to say now? I'm with a fully grown woman. What you got to say now? See, what I'm trying to show you, Americans, is you have a community that has created a liability for you that you ain't going to walk away from. You're not walking away from this. I'm sorry to tell you. If you think you're going to waltz away from this and just waltz back to your community, you got another thing coming. You got a whole nother thing coming, buddy, and you don't even realize it. You're not going to walk away from this and just say, well, he's okay, like you clearing me. After I showed you 43 states has child marriage, you think you just clearing me and that's going to be the end of it. Nah, you found no evidence and you illegally put me under surveillance. You followed me all around the country and found nothing. And guess what? At the end of the war, we found out you got child marriage in 43 states. And you think you're just going to walk away after I'm with a fully grown woman, also as the icing on the cake? Al? And you think you're going to just walk away when people truly see my sexuality and they truly see your sexuality, and you know what your sexuality is? You passed your last child marriage law 3 years ago, a year before COVID. That's a 7 ow, boom, ow, ow. You just passed your last child marriage law a year before COVID. Yeah. And you think you're going to just walk away? In a perfect world, you could. In a perfect world, but in the real world, you know better. You know what this world dishes out. You know what real life dishes out, and you know it ain't no way in hell these people are walking away and they got child marriage in 43 states and they've been playing games with me. Just like that, bruh. That's how I need to say it. Just like that. You know ain't no way in hell it's going down like that. Okay? So you can forget all about all this getting together. And listen, man. Listen, you've been watching too many movies. I'll tell you like Tupac said, you've been watching too many movies. You've been watching too many movies. If you think we gonna make up and be on the same side without my bag, you tripping. And I ain't got to do nothing to get it. What I got to do to get it? I don't have to earn that at all. How I have to earn that? How I have to earn that? I don't have to earn that at all. I don't have to like you at all. That's my bag regardless. And if you don't see it that way, you're going to be thinking I'm trying to run and create labor for my bag. I ain't working for this. Listen, man, that's slave master principles. Well, you got to earn it. Yeah, that's what them white racist people told you. I ain't earning nothing. I ain't earning nothing. You sit up and broke my rights, that's my bag right there. Boom, ow. Oh, whoa. There it is, boom, ow. Oh, whoa. Yeah, I ain't doing nothing. You lock up a man for 20 years and then you get out here and say, well, you got to earn this. You locked up an innocent man for 20 years and then you tell him, oh, he got to earn something? Nah, he gets the bag right there. Listen, man, he don't got to earn nothing. He gets out of jail and he gets the bag. That's what happens. You kick rocks and I get a bag. Same principles, buddy. And if you don't apply them, you're going to continue to die. I'm telling you that as a prophet. You can play games and you can think it's a Mickey Mouse fun house. You play with me, you're going to continue to die, and ain't nobody going to help you because God is on my side. Ain't nobody going to help you. I don't care how gangster you are. I don't care how militant you are. I don't care what community you come from. You don't get my money, you going to die as a community. Word is bond. All that gang stalking has caused a liability for your American community. That's what it's caused. And playtime is over. I ain't playing no games, bro. I've been around killers, man. You think I'm gonna play games? I ain't playing no games. I've been around people that took people's lives for real. Those people that they killed is still in the graveyard. Still in the graveyard, buddy. I live real life. And that's what they failed to tell you, goofy fools. I've been around real killers, real ones, not rappers. Not rappers, sucker. And more than one of them. And ain't no way you coming out of this. Ain't no way you coming out of this. That's from somebody that's been around killers. Ain't no way you coming out of that, buddy. You can sit up and cry. Listen, it ain't nothing but tears of a clown. That done played games and done gang stalked. Ain't nothing but tears of a clown. Go listen to that Smokey Robinson song. Do 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 do. Yeah, that's tears of a clown, sucker. There ain't nothing but tears of a clown. I don't care nothing about what you talking about. I personally don't care. You're white, you're black, you've been gang stalking. You are having tears of a clown right about now. That's what it is. And we ain't trying to hear nothing else. I need my bag. I got a kid that's going to be 16 years old in 5 days. You think I care about you? I got a woman that's a fiance. I got a 16-year-old boy. You think and you treated me like I'm 16. Yeah, you didn't know I was that old, did you? My son is almost 16. He'll be 16 in 5 days where he could drive a car. You think I'm going to let you play with me, man? This is why I talk like I talk. You seen the baby face. And like one military man he said, don't let the baby face fool you. You let my baby face fool you, man. I got a 16-year-old kid. Huh? Yeah, that part. Listen, man, if you don't have my money, your community is dead. And it ain't a threat, it's a promise. It's a promise of God. It's a promise of God. I don't make empty threats. Look at your community after you played with me, sucker. I don't make no empty threats. How my threats empty and you got COVID-19? How my threats empty where everybody can see your country is destroyed? How is my threats empty when your president is under fire for having documents all around his properties? Your president ain't even walking right. How am I throwing out empty threats when you can see everything that's happening right there in front of you? I ain't throwing around no empty threats. You just can't see what's happening. You just can't believe that we can get this done. I know it's amazing, you ain't it? Yeah, don't be too amazed for too long. Don't be too amazed for too long. Because you ain't got a whole bunch of time, buddy. Do, 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 do. You better tell those white folks. You better tell those racist white folks they ain't got too much longer. Yeah. I gotta say this. I wonder how all those racist white people feel about this COVID-19 in their country. How you feel about America now, big baby? Ow. That's a 7. Ow, wow. Yeah. How these racist white people feel? How these racist neo-Nazis and Ku Klux Klan members and all these white militias, how you feel about America now, buddy? Ow. How you feel about America now, buddy? Why you got COVID-19 and ain't no means of it getting away? Ain't no means of it going away. How you feel about your country now? Do, 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 do. Looks like it's karma, man. Looks like it's karma. Come on, man, that's ridiculous. That's how the Americans try to save face. They ride around and beep horns. Man, you can't be serious, bro. I live in the real man's world. And just because you got 1 million cars, don't you ever for 1 minute think you are more of a man than me when your country got 43 states with child marriage. Boom, ow, boom, ow, ow, boom, ow. How you more of a man than me and you got 43 states with child marriage? So those men that passed those laws are real men? That's what you would have me to believe? That these men that pass child marriage laws are real men. You esteem them as real men. I'm talking about all the cowboys, all the mans, all the people that are a man's man, all the people that are a man's man, all the men, all the males that are a man's man. You telling me the government that these politicians that pass these laws in 43 states that allows adults to marry children, you telling me they real men? I think everybody got an image. Just like these rappers. You got an image. You got an image. I'm more of a man than y'all ever would be. That's what some would say. Ironically, I turned out to be more of a man than all of y'all. Why you judging me on my sexuality? I think I made it. I think I evened out pretty good, don't you? As a man, I think I evened out pretty good, don't you? Well, I revealed me single-handedly, I revealed that your country has 43 states of child marriage, big baby. Ow. So you're more of a man than me, and you ignorant sitting back and don't even know that your children are vulnerable to child marriage laws, and you're more of a man than me. Okay. I guess you live by different rules than we do, big baby. I guess I'm cut from a different cloth then. I guess that's what it is. You with the young folks cloth. That part, that's a 7 album, Al. Yeah, you with the young folk cloth, because you still trying to look. You still trying to get your mojo back, huh? You in a midlife crisis. You got 43 states of child marriage. You show me who's more of a man than I am. I don't care about you. You are not more of a man than me. Let's just admit it. This bumped me up all the way up the mountain, bro. Yeah, yes. This took me all the way up. And I ain't coming down. Unlike all of you rest of you other people, listen, you can think you can accuse me. You know who my smoke is with? The whole thing, bro. It's too many of you lame boys because of your character to pick out one. That wouldn't be fair. That wouldn't be fair to pick out one of them. That wouldn't be fair. It's all of you. Just when you trying to instigate something, it's for you. The instigators, yeah, the little telepaths, the little mind readers, yeah, that's for you, sucker. You ain't no man, okay? You could never be a man. Okay, you damned as a boy. You gonna die as a boy. Not because you black, because I'm not a racist. You gonna die as a boy because you a child. And I'm more, listen, you got child marriage up here in this country, and you're so ignorant as a child would be, uneducated, because children have the right to be uneducated until they get to certain grades, right? Until they get out of high school and all that. You're uneducated like a child, man. I'm a fully grown man. Not only am I doing it, I'm educated. I know they didn't tell you education was part of being a man, did they? Well, now we see it does, don't it? We see now with this situation that it does mean that. It does mean that you lack manhood when you're not educated on 43 states of child marriage. Any man gonna stick their chest up in my face? Man, put your chest back in, bro. I don't care who it is. Put your chest back in. And so for all of y'all that think I'm talking about these rappers and only Jay-Z and all these rappers and stuff, I'm talking about you as a community. I'm talking about you too. While you sitting around with your ignorant self, chicken eating self. Ignorant? Sitting around eating chicken like I'm talking about you. Got all the talking in the world. Jay-Z ain't down here talking, it's you. You some chicken eating ignorant people. Sitting around eating a 3-piece, talking, yapping and talking. You could never be the man that I am. You got 43 states of child marriage. How can you possibly think you the man I am? And you didn't know about this? Imagine that. This isn't boat information about boats. I'm not talking about boat information. Yeah, you know those boats got this going. Do this sound like boat information to you? Does this sound like boat information? All you throwing is foolishness. And listen, you are not men. Okay? In real warriors' laws, in real warriors' creeds, you are not men. And I know it's a hard pill to swallow. But you're not men because you're uneducated. That's where you lack manhood in your education. and ain't nobody to blame. You can't blame nobody. And this has cost you a liability. This is a liability. And I know you think I'm talking big and you think I'm a little guy. I'm a little guy when you got COVID-19 because of me. Well, God stood up and rolled on y'all for me. Boom. Ow. God stood up and took care of that. While you thought it was a game. You explain why it's happening to you, and this is the biggest thing that's been going on. Put two and two together. Biggest thing going on. People think it's a big game. Playing with a person's life, and look what has happened. Everything is strange. Yeah, that's why it happened to you, sucker. You can't see that? Man, I'm talking more to these people on the streets who think they are Jay-Z. You think you Jay-Z. You ain't Jay-Z. You are not Jay-Z. You are a lame on the streets, a chicken-eating street punk. That's what you are. You are street punks eating chicken. Okay? I'm talking about the whole government. Got 43 states of child marriage while you eating chicken and playing the position of a street punk, man. That's what I'm trying to show you, man. Like, listen, man. That black stuff, that black culture got you feeling like we all familiar. Boom, ow. I should put that and make that a song. Maybe I'll ghostwrite that for Jay-Z. The black culture got you thinking we all familiar. The black culture got you thinking we all familiar. The black culture got you thinking we all familiar. You ain't familiar with me. How you familiar? You don't even protect black lives. You don't do nothing for black lives. You don't preserve black thought, and you're not confronting the government. None of these rebels have ever confronted the government. How are you like me, man? Because you got a gun? I've been around people, took people's lives. You ain't like me, man.